Hey everyone. So just now Innova has announced that they're closing Skelth, and it's closing on April the 15th, so very soon. And I guess I knew this could happen. I knew that they were either going to close the server or update it with the new update, or just make it free to play. But I guess I thought like closing it was the last option. Like that they would give the server at least one more chance to see if it would work. But I guess um, they decided to close it, and obviously I'm not happy. I don't know. Like I probably I'm just I guess I'm recording this right after the announcement, so I guess I should have waited, but it doesn't matter, who cares, right? I think some people are like overreacting, like they didn't see this didn't see this coming, but obviously we all knew this was possible. Like even though it's an official server, and it's a shame that it only lasted a couple of years, and there are probably private servers that lasted longer than this, but they're closing it now. I still think that they could have done more. And every time that we would be asking, as players, we would be asking questions, that the answer is always, oh, we wanted to do this and we wanted to do that, but the NCSoft said no. And okay, I understand, it's possible, like that. It's not unrealistic since they're licensing the game. Okay, understand. But are they really that out of control? Like that they really have no options? I have it. I find this really hard to believe. Like they couldn't have requested that they just make it free to play, right? Like I don't know, man. It seems to be like becoming like a recurrent excuse. Oh, we couldn't do this, um, so it's because of the Koreans. Like it's their fault. I mean, I understand this. In my opinion, NCSoft is possibly the most incompetent publisher in gaming, right? Like I've never seen a company ruin a game so many times. Like time after time, they keep ruining Lineage 2. I understand, right? But do you really can't do anything else? Like that's every time, everything you want to do, it's because of the Koreans you can't do it, right? I really don't believe that, because obviously you're doing a lot on the Russian servers and on Essence, right? And did the Koreans stop Innova from making better communication, investing more in like promoting the damn server? Was that also the Koreans, right? Like who would be playing here on this server? Anybody who can open the forum, anybody who can open Discord, they can see that there's nothing here. No communication. It's a fucking dead end. Like only players do something. Only thing you see is announcement about the maintenance. Oh, when's the maintenance? Who gives a fuck? Right? There was nothing. Like for the last couple of months, there was no effort from Innova at all to make this server succeed. Nothing. They did absolutely nothing. And I don't believe that's because of the Koreans, right? I understand that the version of the server is shit, okay, and that's because of the Koreans, okay, but everything else, and like promoting the server, giving free days so people can fucking log in, maybe like something about it, no, right? That's on Innova. That's not on the Koreans. Just put some effort, right? There have been people who give so much money on this server, and it's not enough to for Innova to just make some effort, right? And now they close it because it's the developers need money and pay salaries. Okay, I understand that, but how can I put myself in your position when, from my point of view, you didn't do anything? There's only one person whoever did something for Skelth in the last year, and that's Archem. There's nobody else. Like nothing. I don't even think this is because Innova is incompetent or anything like that. It's because they didn't want to do anything. And why? We're paying more expensive subscription, but we're getting less for the money we pay, right? It never made sense. It was always like this, and it kept getting worse. And now they're closing it because it's too few people playing and paying right now for them to justify it. But it was their fault that it became like this. Even when the version of the server is shit, you can do things to make people play, to give them the opportunity to play. Not to always complain, oh, well, Koreans didn't allow us to do it. No. Now what? This is a second time in history that the unofficial L2 server is closing, like since NCSoft closed Europe. And what everybody who spent a ton of money here spend their time to build their character. This is supposed to be a long-term game, and by long-term I mean 10 years kind of game, not 4 years, not 5 years. This type of game that you build your character over time, a hardcore game that you know that whatever you do, play other games, you can always continue building your character. And now they're closing it. And what are they gonna do to show respect for all the people who put their time and their money in their server? Or they're gonna give you some free scrolls probably to go play on Essence, to give them more money on their cash shop, on their pay to win shit, right? This is, I've seen this shit like happen multiple times with Russian companies, and I am trying not to be disrespectful and not to be like, oh, it's because the company is Russian. No, because there are companies that are Russian that make some of my favorite games. But time after time, the lack of respect and effort on some of these MMO Russian companies, like they get a license for a game, people spend a ton of money on supposedly official servers, and they fucking close the server, right? How do you want us to respect you as a company when you do this type of shit, right? You do this. Everything that the people have made over such a long time on this server is going in the trash. And after this, how do you expect anybody who played on Skelth and spent so much time to trust you again? You're gonna make a new project in the future. You're gonna want to open a new server for Europe, right? So you can ask us to pay you double the subscription, right? Give you more money, right? But there are thousands of players who know what you did with Skelth. Like, didn't even try to make it free to play. Didn't even try that. As soon as the money stopped, you closed the server. Like, there are people on Skelth who could probably like do the localization for free for you. If you're that low of a company, if you're that unprofessional, you can't even spend like one person can't even localize, like doesn't speak English, Russian and English to localize an update, right? What would it cost, right? Can't even do that. Such a low effort. I guess. Well, I guess there's one thing good about it. Finally got an answer. Like, finally put this out of its misery, right? At least that's there. This is the only thing. Like, people kept quitting, kept waiting for some update, but the update never came. Right? Even with our command channel, with the players who were left, who we do raids, people started leaving because there's absolutely zero communication, absolutely nothing. That they're supposed to subscribe like 6 accounts over nothing, like no information. So people started leaving anyway. For me, I'm annoyed and I'm pissed because there's so much, like, that so little needs to be changed for this to be great. Not even a lot needs to be changed to be great, right? It's so close to being a great game, the great server, but because NCSoft is incompetent and because Innova is also incompetent, likely, and greedy, this has to happen. Like, I actually think that even if they don't change the version, if they only switched it to free to play and just add more fucking stuff in the cash shop, a lot of people would be playing it. But no, because then it would compete with their bigger cash cow, which is Essence, right? That one's free to play. That's the one with more predatory microtransactions, right? They don't want you to stop playing there and come here, right? Why would they? They'd make more money there, right? This video is getting much longer than I wanted to. I don't know why I'm ranting so much, but I guess when you've been playing for so many years on the server, and you'd expect that they would at least try something else, like just see if it works, and then say, okay, we tried but didn't work. Like, the game version is too bad, nobody wants to play it, okay, but people wanted to play and they didn't give them the opportunity. Like I know, just on my end, I know at least 5 or 6 people who would be playing this if just a couple of things changed, or even if it was free to play with cash shop, right? But no, they didn't even do that. So that's it, I guess, for Skelth. I don't know what me and my clan and our friends are gonna do. If we're gonna move to Essence, man, I I mean, I don't know. It's funny after what Innova did that we keep giving them money. I mean, it's so disrespectful. But anyway, I guess I have to say thanks for all the friends who most of them already quit, but they make this, they made it worth it, even if they even if in the end they close the server. For me, it was a pleasure.